get ready for the power of Groove. Hey, I become a member of Groove today. We'll groove all the way, automate your marketing with the power of Groove. Hey, I discover the secrets today. Groove AI is starting now. Now get ready for the power of Groove. Hey, I become a member of Groove today. We'll groove all the way, automate your marketing with the power of Groove. Hey, I discover the secrets today. Groove AI is starting now.
Hey everybody, welcome again to another session of Groove AI Live. Good to have you here. As you know, today's session is about Copilot and on the Windows PC. Now, some people might think it's pretty straightforward to get Copilot onto their Windows PC, but there are some little things that you need to know in case you come into trouble trying to get it downloaded all on your PC. Now, what I mean about having Copilot on your PC is it's kind of like an app. It's it works, it sort of integrates with your PC, if you like. Not entirely like how the new Microsoft Surface PCs are coming out, where it will be inbuilt into the Surface, Microsoft Surface, but this still will actually work with some of your say applications on your PC. So one of the requirements is that you've got to have a fairly good PC in order to actually run Copilot. Pretty much up to date. You either got to have Windows 10 or Windows 11, but there are versions that you need in order to actually for Copilot to actually install onto your computer in terms of like the different versions of Windows 10 or Windows 11. All right. So, and this is what I found out not so long ago, that I didn't actually quite get the Copilot in the latest updates. And it made me wonder why I wasn't actually getting it. So I investigated more into it. And it seems like I had the earlier version of Windows 11 on my PC, which I think was called 21H2 version of Windows 11, when I should have had at least 22H2 or 23H2 version of Windows, because it kind of made it very difficult for me to actually download or even get Copilot onto my Windows. Before I carry on, let me just actually just go through who's actually in the chat at the moment and see what comments we have. By the way, if you are actually joining us live, put a hashtag live into the comments. And obviously, if you're watching this as a replay later on, then just put a hashtag replay into the comments as well. And make some comments about what you thought of today's session in terms of what you've seen with regards to Copilot. It's very exciting to actually have Copilot primarily in its actual early stages, really, because I mean, there's a lot more features to come with Copilot. So at the end of the day, it's actually, once you've got it on your computer, then it's great. You can play around with it and do what you have. Now you can use the free version of Copilot. Obviously, some features will be limited if you're not on the Copilot paid version. But if you're on the free version, it's adequate enough for what you want to do if you want to play around with it and all that sort of thing. Obviously, if you get the new Microsoft Surface PC, then you're going to obviously have Copilot already installed on it. It will have what they call an NPU, which is Neuro Processing Unit, and that will be inbuilt into the PC. Now, having said that, there's been a lot of everybody sort of rushing to try and be ahead of the game when it comes to CPUs, and there are a lot of manufacturers out there now coming out with different CPUs that actually have AI CPU and GPU. So CPU, central processing unit, GPU, graphic processing unit, and NPU, which is neuro processing unit, which is the AI part. So they're trying to combine that all into one. I think you can get one that is an AI CPU, if you like. All right, I'm just going to say hello to a few people here. Tyler, hello, and welcome, and obviously thank you for your support with my streams. We also have Nancy. Hi, Nancy, all the way from Canada as well. And then we have Melanie Hoffner. And is that Iowa? No, is it? Whereabouts is IA? Sorry, I'm actually from New Zealand, so I'm not too sort of clear on what the codes for the different states are. IA, I'm not sure where that is, but that's in the USA. What that is, but it's in the USA, obviously. We've got hashtag live from Melanie, hashtag live from Nancy, and hashtag live from Tyler. So welcome. Now, I don't know if you have a PC or whether you have a Mac, but today's session is really about the Windows PC and getting Copilot on there, because there were some struggles that I encountered when it came to actually putting it onto my Windows, as I mentioned before. Let me just see if I can share my screen. All right. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Can you just let me know if you can see that? Boom. So if you can just put a 1 in the chat. Iowa. Okay, this is Iowa. I did actually think it was in Iowa. All right. I wasn't too sure about the code, but yeah. So Iowa in the Midwest of the US. Awesome. Welcome to our session today, Melanie. And then we have Charles Segura. Charles is in New York. Thanks for being here, Charles. And hopefully you'll be able to, get maybe, discover something here that would be interesting for you. I don't know if any of you actually, who in here does actually have a PC? Just put a PC into the chat. If not, if you've got a Mac, just put Mac in the chat, and then I will actually know who we've got. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was just down in the corner here, right there, is where the Copilot will show up if you've got the obviously proper update. I'm on Windows 11, by the way. You can tell with Windows 11, everything starts from the middle. Before, the Windows icon and the search bar used to be to the left, if you can recall, if you don't actually have Windows 11. But yeah, everything sort of starts from the middle and then works its way out. As you can see, I've got a lot of startup apps, well, icons on my taskbar, which I need most of the time anyway. So that's all in here. But right at the end here, we do actually have the Copilot. So that means it's on my computer. All right. Now, let me just show you what when you click on it, what happens. All right. So this comes up over here. All right. You get the Copilot coming up on the right side of the screen. And this is kind of like when you go into Bing. I'll just bring up Microsoft Edge here. And if you go into Bing in the corner here, the chat or Copilot, I should say, you can actually get it there. But it's not sort of like reading what's on your computer. All right. It's just reading web pages. All right. So, yeah, that's primarily what it's doing. So it's kind of like the same, but it's actually on your browser rather than on your computer like this one is. So the benefit of this, having this here, is that you can do things like with your computer. And I'll just quickly show you. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go turn on dark mode. All right, bit of a misspell there, but I think it will understand what I'm saying. Thanks, Tyler. I can see your screen. Great. Tyler says, my laptop has a Windows operation system. Yeah. So in short terms, that is OS. So Windows OS, which will be, I don't know if you have Windows 10 or Windows 11, but if you've got anything older than that, you're probably not going to get Copilot on there. Okay, so that actually, it was already in dark mode. So let's just say we'll turn it off. Let's turn off dark mode and just sort of see what happens to my taskbar down the bottom here. So it was already on dark mode. Turn off dark mode. All right. And then the taskbar should actually, and I'm just going to go yes, should actually make it sort of like light mode. So there you go. That's kind of some of the things that you can actually do in here in terms of Copilot. One example, if you like. Okay, so that's what it's like on the computer itself, and obviously what I showed you before with the Edge, you can just click on there in the corner, and that will give you Copilot in there as well on the Microsoft Edge browser. All right. Okay, now some of the things that I actually encountered when I was trying to actually get Copilot onto my computer was that the update. So the updates, I wasn't getting the latest updates that would actually, automatically update my computer with Copilot. And not only did it update the Windows in many different ways, because there's a lot more, different features now within Windows and different apps that you can get, but it also actually, installs the Copilot. So that was one of the benefits of actually having it. Now I did encounter problems where that the reason why I wasn't getting the updates was purely because there is a thing called TPM 2.0. All right, now TPM 2.0 is in your BIOS of your Windows. Now you might say, well, what's a BIOS? So BIOS is actually kind of like the brain center of the PC. Everything is actually it's all on the main board. There's a BIOS. Basically, it controls everything. So to get in there is not an easy task, because you really need to restart your computer and then in a certain way so that you can get into the BIOS system and actually change things. Now, let me just see if I can actually bring something up here. Now, I haven't rehearsed this. So I haven't practiced this. This is the first time I'm going to do it. But let me just, we'll put in here, what does a BIOS dashboard look like? And let's just say we want to get an image of that. So actually, what does a dashboard look like? Now, if you're not too sure how to do all this, maybe just get some sort of advice from, a technician, IT technician, or what have you, and to actually get that onto get the TPM enabled. Because if you don't actually have the TPM enabled, you won't be able to get the Copilot, believe it or not. Now, this is what a BIOS, when you go into BIOS, this is kind of what it looks like. As soon as we get the image, hopefully you can see all this. I'm just going to make this bigger. All right. That's kind of what it looks like. This is probably, like depending on what your I guess what your main board is and everything else. That's kind of what it looks like. You're going to have like these sorts of things. So obviously it's not something that you can actually, just access from your normal desktop when you're actually within your computer. You do need to go into a different environment as you start up and then get into your BIOS system. And that's, you will see all these. Now, I believe that the TPM 2.0 is actually under the integrated peripherals section, and if it's disabled, you need to enable it. All right, now what happens there when you enable it, it allows you to download the latest Windows 11 version, which is the one I was talking about. It's either 22H2 or 23H2. That's the different versions of the Windows 11 that will actually will enable me to actually have Copilot on my computer. Very tricky, I know, but it is something that if you're in the similar situation, because I went down a rabbit hole with this, if you're in a similar situation as I was, then this will be handy for you, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And so I'm letting you know, if you're finding if you can't understand why you can't get why you can't get Microsoft Copilot on your computer yet, that's probably the reason why, because the TPM 2.0 is not turned on. Because if it's not coming through on your updates and you've updated your computer, that would probably be the reason why. And once you turn that on, then you should be able to get the update for the latest version of the Windows 11. All right, let's just see here what we've got. Some of the comments here. All right, so Melanie has got a PC. Charles has got a Dell and an HP PC. Awesome. Nancy's got an old PC. If you're running like Windows 7 or Windows 8, that's pretty old. And Tyra, I can see your screen. Tyra, I have Copilot. It automatically updates itself when it feels like it. Great. Tyra, you mean I didn't have a search in settings for the display? Didn't have a search in the settings for display. Thanks, Peter, for sharing that hack. Cool. Nancy, you've got Windows 23H2, so you should get Copilot, right? So when you do your Windows update, well, that is the Windows update, to be quite honest. That once you've got that, you should actually have Copilot. It should just show up automatically like it does down here. I'm going to put this back into dark mode. Yes, no. I'm going to put no. I prefer dark mode. Right, because it just kind of makes my taskbar stand out a wee bit. There you go. And there is Copilot here, right at the end. All right, so, and that's where I can open it up. Now, some of the great features that you get with Copilot or the latest Windows 11 is you get all these different apps that you can actually put on your computer. There's things like, let me just show you. If I actually just minimize that. All right, now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take that off. So I've got this Windows open, and I'm just, what I want to do is I want to either put it to the side, or I want to put it in the middle, or I want to put it to the right side. I can actually just click on the window itself and then come up here. And then when I come up here to the edge, then you'll see this come up. And what I can do now is I can actually just put it into the one that I want to, that I choose. Say I'm going to put it there like that. And now I have it on this side. Okay, so it's taken up half the screen. If I actually took this away, if I close this, then you'll see it will take up exactly half the screen. Hopefully you can still see that. Let me just check. Okay, you can still see that. Cool. All right, so there's lots of other different features. One I really like is when you come into the widget part here. So I'll go to the far left, just click onto here. And then when I click on the widgets, then I should be able to see, I have one that's called focus. Is anybody, here we go here. This is the focus session here. So if I bring this up, I think if I bring this up, yeah. Now, what I can do, I'll just wait for this to come on. Not sure why it's not coming on. There we go. Okay. It's playing music at the moment. Let me just make sure. All right. Can you guys hear me? Because it actually just switched over to my headphones just then. But this is the focus part here. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me just check. I've got to really just make sure that you guys can hear me. I'll bring this over here. Oh, just give me a 1 if you can actually hear me. Because it did actually switch over to my headphones just then, and I've actually switched it back. Tyra says, okay, yep. So Nancy, yep, can hear. Okay, so Nancy says that she has Windows 10 and she has the latest Windows update on the Windows 10. So you can actually get it on Windows 10 and Windows 11 at the moment, which is really good. So if you have Windows 10, that's great. You're fine. Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. So you can still see this is what they call the focus. I guess it's like a timer, but yeah, it forces. Well, you can actually once you start it. Okay, I've got it set for 30 minutes. Actually, there, but I mean, you can set a goal. Once you do that, then it'll actually cut off your notifications. You can actually do all the settings yourself. You can have it cut off notifications from different things, and it'll just give you that time for you to be able to focus on what you on your project or whatever you're doing at the time or your work. So definitely something that I used the focus to simulate being in the Groove Asia Power Hour. Yes, that'd be awesome for that actually. Okay, so that was just a little bit about the Windows, like having Copilot on the latest Windows. There's so many different features that you can actually enjoy with the latest Windows updates. I'm not sure with the Windows 10 what you get with that, but besides the Copilot, but there were different things that you could actually do within Windows, which were so much more than what I could do before the update. So it's really important to know that if you're having problems with your Windows, updating to getting Copilot on, that could be the issue. Just to recap on that, it could be the TPM 2.0 within the BIOS system under the peripherals, where it may be disabled, and you need to enable it in order to get the latest Windows update. Now, the other thing I used to actually do that to find that out was actually an app that I got on here, which is called the PC Health Check. And this will tell you whether your system actually meets the requirements for the Windows 11, and so that you can actually get the Copilot. So all you got to do is get this app, which is PC Health Check, and then go on to Check Now, see results, and it says that I tick all the boxes. My PC is actually meets all the requirements. As you can see here is the TPM 2.0 enabled on this PC. So that needs to be enabled in order to actually meet all the requirements. If it's not, it will say that your Windows 11 does not meet the requirements, and that way then you'll know that something's wrong. Okay, but once these are all ticked, that's fine. All right, so this is a very handy tool, by the way, because what you can actually do, and this is a Microsoft tool, what you can actually do is you can go to storage capacity. You can see if you're at 74%, just go on there, and then you can go and manage all your storage, and you can get rid of some of the things that you don't want. So this is another, another great feature that you want to use in order to actually keep your PC in good running order. You must always make sure you maintain your Windows in order to actually have that good experience with all your applications, as well as with Copilot. All right. So it's really necessary. If there's anything wrong with your PC, I don't think you'll get the Copilot anyway. You need to actually make sure everything's fine. Good antivirus, all that sort of stuff. That all helps. And by the way, here's just a tip, because I used to have a computer business in another lifetime. But here's a tip. Don't have any more than one antivirus on your computer. All right. Make sure that that's the case. It doesn't help to have more than one, because they try and scan at the same time. It can slow things down, especially when you start up your Windows. Okay, you've got two antiviruses trying to scan at the same time on the startup scan, and it really just slows things down. You only need one good one. Paid ones are the best. I actually recommend the ESET. ESET is actually a really good antivirus. It's not, it doesn't actually, it's not too heavy, if you know what I mean. Like Norton's is so loaded up that it can actually behave like a malware, where it slows down your computer. And that's the other thing too as well. Things like anti-malware and all that sort of stuff, you want to make sure you got a good malware, but mostly in these paid antiviruses, you'll get a malware scanner as well. So that's very important to know. But yeah, just one antivirus works best. Okay, let me have a look in the chat here. Nancy says, I have Windows 10. I cannot get Windows 11 on my computer. My version is Max 22H1, I think. Okay, so if you got 22H1, that's still fine for Copilot. Yeah, you may not be able to get the latest version, because it might be specific to Windows 11. Yeah. Now, with any sort of major update or upgrade, make sure you always back up your data. For me, I actually have two hard drives in my computer. One is an SSD drive, which is solid state drive. If you don't know what that means, solid state drive, it means there's no working parts, like a memory stick. A memory stick doesn't have any working parts. It's kind of just all solid, one piece chip in there. All right. But with the old hard drives, with the IDE, was it IDE? SATA drives, okay, the SATA drives, they actually have like spinning wheels and stuff like that, like spinning discs and all that sort of thing. Too many working parts, and too much things to go wrong with it. But with a solid state drive, which is the SSD drive, they're actually a lot more robust. They came out probably around about 2010, something like that. But that's what I have. I have a 500 gig solid state drive, and I also have another drive, which is inside my computer, which is a normal SATA hard drive, and that's a 2 terabyte. And I store most of my stuff on there. So if anything goes wrong with my solid state drive, with my Windows, I've got everything stored on my secondary drive, which is my 2 terabyte drive. So just remember, if you're going to do anything like a major upgrade, so say for instance, Nancy, if you want to upgrade from Windows 10, depending on whether or not your computer can actually has the right specs for it, and go from Windows 10 to Windows 11, then make sure you back up. And I'll give you guys, I'll give you a little site. This is quite a handy site, and I don't know, maybe some of you, and this is a tip, you heard it from me first. Okay, this is the benefit. I've actually been involved with computers for such a long time. I used to actually, I had the computer business, and I had nerds. We used to call them nerds because the franchise was called Need a Nerd, kind of similar to Geeks on Wheels over in the States. Is the same sort of concept. So Need a Nerd, and we have all these different types of tools that we go to, websites that we go to get different things. And one of them is, and I'm going to show you now, one of them, let me just bring this up. I'm going to make this there, and then I'm just going to go here. There's this one here, which is g2play.net. All right, g2play.net. Yeah, take so Tyra, with the two antiviruses, sometimes with Windows, Norton or McAfee is automatically put on your computer. You get that when you get it new, by the way, and it's either Norton's or McAfee. Both of them I would not recommend, to be quite honest. This is my own opinion. This is just coming from experience. eset.com, which is the and I'll put the link into the chat. Actually, I can't put it into the chat, but I'll show you on the screen. But just take a note of this one here. This is g2play.net. All right, now you can get reusable software from here. These are redundant keys, okay, product keys, and they're much more cheaper than actually trying to buy them retail. All right, so now if I was to put in here Windows 11 and okay, let me just make this a wee bit bigger. Hang on. Make this a bit bigger. All right, so so the Windows 11, I just put in Windows 11, 138 results found. So we've got the Windows 11 Pro OEM key. Okay, we kind of don't really want that one. Let's have a look at this one here. Windows 11 Home. I would go Pro. This one's actually New Zealand dollars, so it's a lot cheaper than actually buying it, to be quite honest. So we've got 11. Here's another one here. Okay, ESD Windows. You can get gaming, you can get games, you can get software. There's quite a few different things you can get from the site, by the way. Let me just go. I'm going to try this one here. Okay, so over here, I just got to get it in there. I'm going to make this bigger. There you go. All right, so you can get it here, and it gives you nor played in Turkey. Okay, so this is a restricted product. It cannot be activated nor played in Turkey. So that doesn't, you know, like I don't think we've got anybody in from Turkey in here. So you can actually get this one. Here are some of the sellers that are selling them. Okay, you can go by the stars, judge what their ratings are. You can see here, see the ratings here for this one here is pretty good. You know, there's what do you call it, 509,729 I guess ratings on that one there. So, you know, if you wanted to get it from these guys, it's same price, you can get it from there. Then you know there's not going to be any problems, but most of them are pretty good. All right, they've all got like 5 stars, and that's how you can sort of be sure that you're getting the right thing. So this is basically a key. All right, and you can download the ISO, which is like kind of like the file, and then you're going to go through the whole process of actually upgrading to whatever, you know, from Windows 10 to Windows 11. But that's the most cost-effective way of doing it. The price is really ridiculous. And you can do the same with Office as well. So if you've got Microsoft, if you want to get Microsoft Office, and you want to get, you know, maybe the latest, which I think is 2021, you can get it here. Now they're all different prices. Like there's the 2021 Professional Plus ISO key. All right, so that means that you can download the it's kind of like a virtual DVD, if you like. You download it, and then you you know, you use it to actually install Windows 11. The Microsoft 2021 Pro version, and then you use the ISO key to actually activate it. So it's a legitimate license key, all right? So for those who have actually joined me on this meeting today, or the session today, that is very, very handy information for you. I don't normally give out this sort of stuff. They're kind of like, kind of like my own little secret, but this is some of the stuff that we used to use back in the days when I was actually had my agency. Okay, I'm just gonna move this over there. All right, let's see what's in the comment. Thank you for sharing the site. Need a bigger video card and more RAM or PCU. Okay, so Nancy, just from my experience, when I was running my business, my computer business, sometimes it's actually far better to upgrade to a new PC or laptop than what it is to actually upgrade. Like when I say upgrade your components in your PC or in your PC mainly. When you start looking at graphics cards and then you start looking at RAM, you're actually putting money into a dead horse, if you like, because basically what's happening is that your laptop or your computer is not going to be worth any more by putting all these expensive parts in it, because to get a graphics card that's going to handle what you do, it's going to actually cost a lot of money. There are some cheap graphics cards out there, but you just got to be careful what you buy. Make sure you get something that is actually recommended, or is actually because there's so many different things that you've got to think about when you're actually getting a PC. The CPU in a PC is very important. So you could get like a lot of RAM. Let's just say you might get like 32 gigs or 100. Let's just say maybe 128 gigs of RAM in a say a laptop, but the CPU is only like 1.6 gigahertz. That's actually, it's, and it could be cheap because of that. But if you've got a CPU that's around about 2.6 or 3.0 or something like that gigahertz, then that means the processing power is a lot faster, right? And together with the RAM, which is your memory, that actually helps as well, and your graphics card if you've got a good graphics card as well. All right, so you're best putting that extra money that you're going to spend on different components into a new PC, all right, because it actually is a lot more beneficial in that way. All right, so that was that side. There was another side I was going to show you. I can't remember what it was. Can anybody remember? I was going to show you something else. But anyway, this is a very, very handy site. So take a note of that, g2play.net. And that way then there's a lot of software that you can get. Gaming software like for Xbox and PlayStation, I think, is another one that you can get gaming software for. So much in there that you can actually get. All right, so but there definitely was another site I wanted to show you guys. But anyway, look, we sort of got away from what the original topic was, and that was about the whole AI in terms of Copilot. If you've got the latest update, there you go. You're going to get this on the side there. And obviously, it just behaves the same as what it does in Bing, and you can actually just do whatever you want in there. So create your images, all that sort of thing. Now, let me just see if it can open up a document. Open up. I'm just going to find a document that it can actually open. Let me just have a look. Let me try that one there. Open up the event lead. I haven't tried this before. I'm going to try it. Open up. Try it now. So this is all happening as we go. Event lead folder. Now this could be anywhere. I don't know where it could be, but let's just say, so there's the actual folder there. Let's say I can't find it. I don't know where it is. So that's there. And I'm just going to see if it actually recognizes the name. All right. So it's thinking about it. It may, hopefully it's that good. I'm not sure. But if it does, I'll be really, really surprised. I've only got the free version of Copilot. So like a File Explorer. So it's kind of giving me a guide where to And yeah, okay, so it's trying to tell me to search for it. Okay, let's just copy this, and I'm going to put in there. Open up Evently folder on my desktop, and let's just see if that actually responds. So this is all about kind of like just seeing how good the Copilot is. Obviously, this is the free version. I don't actually have the paid version. I do actually have the Office 365. Okay, so sure, would you like me to open File Explorer app for you? Okay, it's telling. Okay, we'll just go yes and see what happens. So it's opened up my File Explorer. That's kind of what it's done. And it's just told me to put Evently in there. So I'm just going to put Evently in there, and it's going to open up. Right. So I may be limited because I don't actually have the paid version of Copilot. So that could be the issue. I'm not actually sure, but maybe it'd probably be a worthwhile track going down. I still believe, Copilot is at its very early stages. There's a lot more to come. I think prices will get a lot more competitive the more competition's out there. So but keep using it. Get used to the the Copilot and even the ChatGPT. I mean, get used to some of the AI stuff that we have available out there. The more that you use it, the more you become familiar with it, the more things that you'll be able to do with it, and all that sort of stuff. So for those of you who are on the Groove.ai backer and you're using Groove.ai, that too as well, Mike Forsame and his team will be obviously updating that as well as things eventuate with the AI, and that will just get better and better and better. You'll be able to do a lot more, I believe. It probably now does actually have 4.0 in it, GPT 4.0. I have to actually really check that, but hey, that's AI is making some leaps and bounds. It's going to be, I mean, just imagine this time next year with the rate of how technology is going with AI, everything's going to have AI in it. And as you know, computers, I don't believe the first ones out are going to be the ones to buy, like the Microsoft Surface. I do think give it a little bit more time, maybe 2-3 months after the first one comes out. You're probably going to see more competition come out. Maybe even Apple will jump on board with the whole sort of AI chip in terms of the processor. I just can't see people not, like big brand names not having AI in some of their computers or, personal computers. I think it's just going to be the way of the future. All right. So Tyro reckons. Okay. So Tyro says, thank you for sharing your site. Also looking forward to replacing my desktop computer. This is very useful information, Peter. No problem, Tyro. That's you're welcome. And some of the site that I showed you before, keep it to yourself because you don't want to sort of spread it out to a lot of people. You want to keep it your own little secret. But if you have to share, then people who want to sort of upgrade their Windows or whatever, that is a really good site to get your licenses from and download the software to be able to actually install it onto your computer. And that way, then you can upgrade your computer to whatever Windows, so long as it meets the specifications to the Windows 11 version, 23H, I think it is, 23H, 23H2. Yeah, I think that's the one. All right, so thanks for being with us today. I'm just a couple of things that I'm gonna stop share, and then I'm just gonna share my screen again. Let me just go back to this one here. All right, so let's go to our calendar. Actually, I'm just thinking maybe we'll leave that for now, but this is the website. So we're going to leave the calendar for today. All right, guys, look, thank you for being here. It was a pleasure bringing this information to you. And like I said, if you've got Windows, this will be very beneficial to you. If you don't, if you have a Mac, then probably in the next one that I do, I'm going to cover the Mac side of things. And if there's any known issues that might be that exist in terms of like people who've got a Mac and they can't get Copilot onto their system. All right, that's me for now. And once again, thank you for being here today live, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.